Okay guys, Christmas in July. Richie's little present to himself. And by the way, does anyone know where the expression Christmas in July comes from? I thought it came from like Australia, places in the southern hemisphere. I've quite a few friends over the years that have celebrated the Christmas in July thing. But it actually came to prominence in America in the mid-40s. Anyway, that's enough for today's mindless trivia. Let me get on with unboxing this. But first of all guys, have your guess in the comments section. What card do you think Richie may have got in this unboxing? Anyway, in typical Richie fashion, I'll take the paper off, but he's most likely going to be upside down. But have your guess right now guys. Isabella's got me wrap this, by the way guys. Oh, looks fantastic, I'm telling you. Oh, and it is back to front, but not upside down. It is the Losi 22S short course truck, brushless, AVC included, 50 miles an hour, so pretty much straight out the box on 3S. So did we guess right there guys, or did you type in armour infraction? Just remember guys, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, let me get that camera down, show you why I like the looks of this truck so much. So in JJ Customs, thought it was an absolutely cracking truck for the money. But let me get the camera down and see if you agree with me. And I would just say guys, I'm going to do a short test run of the Losi 22S SCT around the yard at the end of this video. Guys, this car is based on the legendary 22 platform. It's got AVC included. Now I absolutely love AVC, way better than TSM to my mind. Dynamite fuse, ESC, bottom loading battery tray, all metal gear transmission, and that's everything in this car boys and girls. Spectrum Servo and a Spectrum DX2E active radio system, race inspired scale body, and Team Losi racing upgrades available. Okay, speed-wise guys, 7-cell nickel metal hydride back gives you XX plus miles an hour. Anyway, moving on, 2S LiPo 5000 milliamp gives you 35 plus miles an hour. And a 3S LiPo 5000 milliamp pack gives you 50 plus miles an hour. And I will definitely be putting on the GPS this week and testing all three of those. When it comes to those batteries guys, whilst this thing is ready to run, you will need to buy a battery and charger. Okay guys, diving straight on in. We have got 122S, the Maxis version, which is going to need a bit of work to get out of the box. We've got our instruction manual, a few preloaders there for the shocks, bind plug on there, no mini toolkit included in there or anything like that. 4A batteries for our transmitter. Okay, as for that transmitter, now it is not actually the one I was thinking. This is the one that people actually quite like on here as opposed to the new Spectrum one. Okay, what have we got on here? 4A batteries to get us going, throttle, brake, steering on there, our antenna on the top. We've got an auxiliary 4 switch on there, not quite sure what that is for. This one is for power. You've got the low, medium and high in terms of power levels, reversible throttle, reversible steering, steering trim, throttle trim, bind button, on off switch on there, and most important of all, the AVC dial on this side for controlling the AVC. And with the DX2E you can also fit the telemetry module, provided you've got all the telemetry gear in the car as well, and you can also fit that little digital speedo on the top as well, provided you fit the right modules to the car. Now Kevin and Pat did a video entitled the other day, World's Fastest RC Car Unboxing. I beg to differ. See, I reckon that was much faster. Apologies there folks, to see what they mean by looking at the video again. World's fastest RC car, unboxing. Okay guys, well this Losi 22S is in the Maxis colour scheme as opposed to the K and N1. A lot to like about this car though. 3300 kV brushless motor in there, 9 kilo for the pulling power of the servo. Anyway, let me get the camera down, so if I spin around the body, see what we get for our money. Okay guys, if I dig down into this in a bit more detail. And when I looked at it in the store, tire tread there, ideally suited for hard packed dirt I would say, looking at a tread profile. Anyone's got one already, please do give me some feedback on it. This is a super scale body, they are licensed scale bodies as well, so it is as close to the original racing thing as can be, even down to the little mudguards at the back there, which I think is quite a nice touch. A couple of replica fans on the back there. Anyway, I think it's time we got that box. Guys, it really does feel like it is Christmas in July because I've got about 4 or 5 cars coming in this week. Anyway, with the body off, the first thing that jumps out is the battery tray, guys. It loads from underneath, so we'll take a look at that in just a minute. Moving on from the front, got a substantial impact bumper, but bear in mind if this is anything at 50 miles an hour, guys, you're going to need that bumper. Now the shocks, guys, the indicator was that they weren't going to be threaded because it came with the preloaded spacers in with the instruction manual. But almost certainly that's one of the things you could upgrade to if you went down the losi upgrade parts on there. Same suspension, isn't adjustable on this thing, but I'm assuming the upgrade parts would give you that adjustability both at the front and the rear. As I say, that is our 9 kilo steering servo tucked away down in there, which is quite a decent pulling power to my mind. Now connector wise, I may have to hunt around for an adapter because this I think is EC3 as opposed to EC5, and that is indeed an EC3 connector attached to the ESC as opposed to EC5, so I'm going to have to find an adapter for that. Moving on from that battery lead, it goes back to the brushless ESC, which is a dynamite fuse 60 amp job on there, guys, but more importantly that feeds the power down to the all important ABC receiver, an SRS 6000 6-channel receiver, no doubt. They are about 65 bucks on their own, guys, and you can pick up one of these cars for about $250 all in, so it's definitely got quite a high spec fitted to it throughout. Anyway, I'm going to turn the car round and have a look at that rear end in more detail. Okay, as I say, just 2-wheel drive on this car. We've got steel drive shafts on there, our spur and pinion gear tucked away beyond those covers, but more importantly, hiding away here, we've got that dynamite 3300 kV brushless motor. So that is on a par with the Valenian motor from Traxxas, I would say, in terms of power. And it can push this thing, as we'll claim 50 miles an hour plus, which is, I will be putting a GPS on and testing. At the back here, we've got a decent sized impact bumper, which is going to put up with your everyday bashing. Although I would say, I'm thinking of taking this down to Norcal Hobbies and running it on 2S around their racetrack. Maybe get somebody else to drive it round first of all, show me the ropes on there, but I think this would be the ideal short course truck for taking around the racetrack. Be interested to talk to them to see if many people race these at their track or not. Anybody out there racing them, guys? Love to hear from you. The reason I say that is because this thing is absolutely featherweight for its size, so I am thinking it's definitely going to hit that 50 mile an hour top speed on there. Suspension wise, I think we should check that out, boys. Okay, lift that rear wheel until the front just begins to lift. Ooh, about 1.5 inches travel on there, 2 inches at a push there, guys. Damping wise, oh, that's very nicely damped. You can see this flying around a racetrack. It is so light, I cannot get over how light it is, guys. Now lifting that front until the rear just comes clear there, guys. Oh yeah, probably got about 4 inches to 4.5 inches on the front there. Well, that damping looks like it's certainly not going to bottom out in a hurry, but we shall find out as I'm going to take it outside in just a minute and put it through its paces in the yard. Now here's what sorts this losi out from the rest of the field, guys, in terms of the quality of the chassis in it. Substantial A-arms to match that front bumper at the top there. You've got metal bracing plate where the chassis meets the front suspension. Plastic chassis, which you kind of would expect at this price point, and tucked away underneath the car we've got the tray for loading the battery into it. Nice foam mounts in there, so that battery's not moving anywhere in a hurry in there. Moving on down, we've got a metal plate again bracing the rear of the chassis to the rear suspension. Fairly substantial A-arms down there again. Moving on back, one thing I would say, guys, the motor, not only have we got metal gears for the pinion and the spur, but the diff tucked away in there has also got all metal gears. While I showed you the suspension travel, from that is the kind of clearance the car has got underneath it, guys. That's a sort of standard size Avonic pack. In fact, that's a very 2S pack that is going in this car in just a minute once I can find an adapter. Now luckily Richie's big tray of battery adapters and connectors comes to the fore once again, and I've actually got an EC3 adapter to a Traxxas and a Traxxas adapter to a Dean's. That's not ideal, probably going to put a bit of tape around it before I take it out for a hard bash, but that does enable me to connect my Avonic 2S pack, and that will allow me to fit this Avonic 2S pack to the losi 22S CT and take it outside right now. Okay, Avonic pack fitted in there without too much of a worry. I'm going to tape the wire up for when I take it out for a good hard bash, but for tonight's purposes, guys, just around the yard should be fine as it is. I did notice The on-off switch is flopping round. That's because the double-sided tape appears to have come undone from the chassis. So just got to sort that out, then we'll be outside. Okay, even with a battery in, that is still very, very lightweight indeed. Easily comparable with something like a Traxxas Slash. But to my mind, this is looking a lot better handling, more durable. Anyway, with the body on, just about to go out and hit the yard, but I thought I'd show you a quick demonstration of the AVC. This is very similar to the Traxxas TSM, but to my mind much better, because this does feed the power, alters the power to the back of the car as well on it. But if you move the car around as though the back end of the car is drifting out, you will see the front wheels are counter steering, and this is a transmitter on the side there which I'm not touching. When the back end flips out, the front wheels steer into it much the same as you would counter steer into a skid if you were ice on the road. That will make more sense when it's outside. Oops. Now, all joking aside there, guys, I've done nothing at all yet with the power settings on this car, all looked at things like the braking on the ESC. So this is what it's come like straight out of the box. That typical short course lean to it. Ooh, mama, that's brisk even on 2S. Definitely need to increase the brakes a bit there, Richie. Something I'm going to have to be aware of playing around it tonight, even on 2S. It's quite it's very tight steering radius. I've just bought another RC car, which may or may not be up on my channel by the time you're watching this. A little bit of lag when you first hit the throttle on there, but then when it comes in, oh mama. And that braking definitely needs sorting there, Richie boy. You can flick the tail round just with it. It's got lift off oversteer. And in just a few seconds, guys, I'm going to show you how easy it is to use the AVC to dial the oversteer up or down. But guys, bear in mind, $249 out of the box, 50 mile an hour performance. I'm going to come down with the AVC. This is completely with it turned off. Give it full throttle with it turned off. And it is wanting to slip around a bit on the grass. Turn it up to about 50%. And pretty much straight off in a straight line there without any worry at all. Not when they get kicked around as off online as much. 50% is normally the good rule of thumb for these things, guys. Well, the tights is all wheelie a little bit. Now, putting it on now, black top again. Now, look how much harder it is to provoke that back end out, guys. Not wanting to, look at that, that's the difference AVC makes. It's wanting a corner more like it's still wanting, looks a bit skidding around a bit, but it's skidding around gradually, it's not whipping out on there. With the that is the AVC doing its stuff there, guys. Much more fun handling it like this. It's nice having the car do a little bit of the work for you. Now, not everybody might agree with these electronic aids, but to my mind, if it helps you drive faster, safer, and in more control, that's got to be a good thing. So, well, that would flick the back end out with the AVC turned to 0 on full throttle. With it turned to 50%. Not wanting to flick that back end round too much at all on there. I have to say, guys, from the outset, $249 for this, brushless, with the AVC fitted to this. Some of the something like a Traxxas Slash is about $229 for a brushed setup. To my mind, it's a no-brainer. Go out and buy one of these. Now, when it turned on 100%, so I'll just test it. Now, you'd have to be doing something pretty stupid to damage it with it on 100%. That said, it does not feel at its best on 100%. It feels better, that 50% on there, where it's got a little bit of play in the back end, but not so much that you're going to be spinning out all the time. Anyway, with it on grass on 100%, does decrease the steering radius, by the way, guys. Ooh, and that braking. Need to sort that braking out, Rich. If anybody would like me to do a video on how to set up the ESC on this, then do shout, and I'll go and do a separate video on it. Set it on 100% on there. Steering radius is huge with it on 100%. Now with it set on 50%, steering radius is much improved because it's letting the back of the car slip a little bit, but not too much, whereas it on 100%, the thing's not wanting to let go at all. The brake sword. Oh,
I'll tell you. What my gut feel is, guys, A, yours truly is going to get through a new set of tyres in no time at all. On 3S, this thing promises to be an absolute blast. Very, very drivable on 2S, I will say. It's handling supremely well. I'm not really throwing too much at it to test it too hard tonight, but I can still, with that AVC on 50%, very, very nice to drive indeed. Anyway, do you think I should take this down to NorCal Hobbies, down the racetrack down there? Maybe get somebody who's used to racing, take it round the track and me film it. If you'd like to see that happen, please say in the comment section below the video. I'll be testing it with the GPS later on this week with the 7-ton nickel metal hard drive pack, 2S LiPo that's fitted tonight, and a 3S LiPo, and we'll see just how fast it is on all of those. Will we break that magic 50 miles an hour on its performance tonight, guys? I suspect it's going to smash through that 50 plus miles an hour. So if you don't want to miss any of those upcoming videos, guys, then don't forget to subscribe. And if you love this video, by all means, share with friends.
Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.